Good morning, children. We were studying classification of animals and we studied about the classification of vertebrates and we did the general characteristics of pisces and amphibians. Today we will start with reptilia. So let us first see that what are the common characteristics of reptiles. The first characteristic that you are seeing on your screen is that mostly they live on land. Their skin is dry and covered with scales. Their body is divided into distinct regions: head, neck, trunk and tail. All reptiles, they have teeth except tortoise and turtle. The respiration is through lungs because they are terrestrial animals, they live on land, so obviously they will respire through lungs. They have two pair of limbs. Now two pair of limbs, and generally they are also known as tetrapods, okay, because they have total 4 limbs. That way there are two pairs. Mostly reptiles, they lay eggs on land. Some common examples of reptiles are given: snake, lizard, tortoise, turtle, crocodile, etc. See children, this is crocodile and you can see that the skin is very dry, covered with scales, teeth present, right, and it is a tetrapod. You can see all 4 limbs, right. Next is a tortoise, an exception because teeth are absent. Now we will study about birds or aves. The general characteristics, the external appearance, you all can also tell me that what are the general characteristics, right? You all know that their bodies are covered with feathers, they have a streamlined body. While studying pisces, we studied that what is streamlined body. I told you that when the body is narrow at both the ends, then we say that the body is streamlined, and this type of body helps in reducing the friction. So fishes, they have to cut the friction while moving in water. Similarly, birds, they fly, so they also have to reduce the friction by air, friction that is caused by air. So in order to cut those air currents, they have streamlined bodies. Their 4 limbs are modified into wings for flying. Now children, 4 limbs means front limbs, okay, the limbs that are in the front. Here the spelling is FORE, right. So 4 limbs means front limbs. The front limbs in case of birds, they are modified into wings, and the hind limbs means the limbs at the back side, they having proper claws and they have 4 digits, right. We have how many? 5. Then jaws form a beak. So the jaws are modified in the form of beak and they do not have teeth. They breathe through lungs, and females, they lay eggs, and those eggs are protected by a hard shell. You all have seen eggs, right, and you in case of birds, the eggs are protected by a hard covering, a shell, and inside the egg we find egg yolk. Examples are parrot, sparrow, quail. Now here I have one real picture of quail, Asiatic quail, very beautiful. See children, the jaws are modified into beak. The external appearances you all are very familiar with. They have feathers, the hind limb and the 4 limbs. The 4 limbs are modified into wings for flying. Hind limbs, see the claws and the digits. Alright. Now moving on to mammals. Now we all are mammals. So we have some unique characteristics. First one, body covered with hair. All over the body we have hair. External ears are present, right? And usually have 4 legs and a tail. Usually have 4 legs and a tail. Not all, but most of them. Give birth to young ones. So what do we call such animals who give birth to their young ones? Viviparous animals, right? So the young one develops inside the mother's body, and when the young one is born, then the mothers, they take care of their young ones with their own milk, and we breathe through lungs. So these are the common characteristics. Now children, one thing, we studied different groups of invertebrates and vertebrates. We studied all the characteristics. These are the general characteristics. Biology is science of exceptions. Everywhere you will find exceptions. Okay, so each and every living organism will not exactly fit into one of the groups and all the characteristics will match. This will not happen, because there is a lot of there are different categories. There are different types of animals, living organisms on earth, different types of plants, so you cannot categorize them strictly. So there may be some variations here and there. Okay, whatever we studied, it was general in nature. The general characteristics means 90% of them will have these characteristics. All right, now here you see elephant. Now this is my favorite mammal, so I have put it here, elephant. Rest you know examples: horse, dog, monkey, human, tiger. All these are examples of mammals. All right. So children, with this we finish classification of vertebrates also. Now moving on to one very important term. What is it? Endangered species. Now there are some plants and animals which will become extinct in near future if we don't take care of them. Okay, so endangered species means they are those plants and animals which are on the verge of vanishing from the earth. Means not even a single individual of that type will be present in near future if we do not do anything for them. So such species are endangered species. Okay, so right now they are there on our planet, but they are in very small numbers, and we have to take quick action so that we can save them and they do not become extinct. So there is a very big list of such endangered species of plants and animals. If you do a little bit of research, you will be able to find many animals and many plants under this category. So why is it happening? Why some species they become endangered? Now there are different reasons. One prominent reason is loss of habitat. Habitat means the place where it lives. So if trees will be cut down, if all the water bodies will dry, and if the temperature of the earth keeps on increasing, if there is so much of global warming, then many animals and many plants will become endangered with time, right, and they will become extinct then ultimately. So one main reason behind different animals and plants becoming endangered and then they are becoming extinct is loss of habitat. Then there are some local communities or some people who do illegal things. Okay, they do poaching and all. So because of that also these animals they are at a risk. So I am not asking you to find out various reasons, because one prominent reason that you have to remember, and about which even our small actions can help. That is, we can protect, if we protect our environment, then definitely we are helping all types of living organisms on earth. So your task is, your activity for the day is that you will have to prepare a list of 10 endangered species of animals on earth. Okay, you have to find out 10 such animals who are in the endangered category. So you will prepare a list, and this is your activity. All right, now we will proceed towards how to name different living organisms scientifically in the next session. Thank you, children.